Students can slam dunk their STEM skills during a March Madness workshop this weekend. Eric Lewis with Baton Rouge STEM is here to give us more details. All right, well, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so go ahead and tell us all about this event that's going on this weekend.
Yeah, so for the last several years, we've been doing this thing called March Mathness. And so it makes a direct connection between math and the March Madness tournament that's going on in basketball right now. And shout out to the Southern University Lady Jacks who went in on last night.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Really, that's actually the connection that we're trying to make between kids. It's helping them to understand that math is actually integral to sports. And so what we've been doing, we have kids from several different schools that we work with that have been doing these math quizzes that, so they're placed into brackets where they'll compete. And then we also, on Saturday, we have our workshop called the Math of Basketball. And so kids will learn about how you can use math as an architect to design a basketball arena. Maybe you can be a statistician. And so just, again, really helping kids to understand, you may love the sport of basketball, but you may not go very far in it, but you can still be engaged in it from an academic standpoint. And so we'll be, again, developing, and they'll be designing and building prototype basketball stadiums, catapults and things of that nature. And so we've been doing this for a number of years. And so that's really what it's all about.
And then you said they'll get to basically develop their math skills while designing basketball courts, doing these type of things. For someone who's watching at home, explain to them, well, how does math tie into doing that? Like, of course, we know there are architects and, of course, different types of engineers, but tell someone how math can tie in with designing this.
Well, I think the interesting example I've given the kids, there's a book about baseball and how they utilize statistics the Oakland A's use statistics to decide what players to recruit to a championship team. And so analytics has become very, very popular in sports. And so they make, six-figure salaries. And so if you are a person that's like really passionate about basketball, but again, you may stop at the high school level, that's a way to really get engaged. And so when we talk to kids about that, and literally it's things that they're learning in elementary and middle school that applies to analytics. It helps them to see or open up their eyes to different ways that they can still be involved in sports, but especially from an academic standpoint. And if you think about it, you look, Mark Cuban owned the Dallas Mavericks for a time, and so he was heavily into coding and into math. And so that's yet another example of how you can be successful and engaged in sports without actually dribbling a basketball.
And then even for someone who may not have any interest in sports, this math is all around us. It's involved in what we do. Of course, I had to learn a lot of math for my career. But again, there's some points that I was like, I don't like calculus, but I did love statistics. I love geometry and trigonometry. So you also just kind of get to be exposed to different types of math and see what fits you best.
So as an example, yesterday we held this huge STEM festival at Claiborne Elementary. We had about 25 different stations for the kids, and it was kind of designed to help them connect real life STEM activities into the things that they're learning and preparing for the LEAP test. And so that's yet another example. And so I think it's very important, and that's the work that we try to do outside of this weekend's activity, is just really try to help kids to understand how every aspect of their life is connected or impacted by STEM.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming out again. And again, go ahead and get your kids signed up for the March Mathness event happening this Saturday. And for anyone who maybe can't make it to the event but want to get their kid involved in Baton Rouge STEM, how can they sign up?
Yeah, so you can visit our website at batonrougestem.org. So it's Baton Rouge spelled out. And every third Saturday, we actually have a different STEM workshop at the North Street Gym. And so there's a number of different opportunities. We have a number of schools that we're going to throughout the remainder of the school year for STEM nights and activities like that. So there's a number of ways that you can get engaged.